Well, among many other things, the far left has been making war on Minnesota's families. We've seen that over and over again. You all know what I'm talking about. And here to talk about that aspect of the craziness that we're seeing from our current legislature is one of the rising stars of conservatism in Minnesota, Renee Carlson. Renee is a lawyer with True North Legal and the Minnesota Family Counsel. Please welcome Renee Carlson.
Well, good morning, freedom-minded Minnesotans! As John said, I'm an attorney at True North Legal and Minnesota Family Counsel, but I'm also a wife and a mother living in Minnesota, so this is personal. Every day, our organization works to protect and defend life, family, and religious freedom for all Minnesotans. If you share these values with me today, let me hear you say freedom! Freedom! Minnesotans, we cannot and we will not sit back and let our governor, our attorney general, and our legislature trample on our freedoms. We must stand firm to protect our freedoms for each other and for our children. We will stand together. We will stand together for life, because life is a human right. It is not a matter of partisan politics. Yet, the trifecta, as they call themselves, is working to pass some of the most egregious abortion policies in the world, putting Minnesota on par with countries like China and North Korea. And although the legislature created a fundamental right to abortion in House File 1 and Senate File 1, it seeks to go even further by removing nearly all health and safety protections for women and young girls seeking an abortion in Minnesota. This means removing reporting requirements when we should be keeping abortionists accountable. This means taking away all state funding for pregnancy resource centers when we could be saving more babies and helping more women. Trying to expand taxpayer-funded abortions, unfettered access to abortion on our dime. To that, we say no. And removing laws that explicitly require life-saving care for infants born alive that survive an abortion, all while allowing abortion up to birth. If this legislation passes the conference committees, Minnesota cattle and reptiles will have more rights than Minnesotans' pre-born children's. Let me hear you. The madness must stop. But do not give up. Our engagement on this issue has slowed the progress and momentum of these extreme abortion bills, especially in the Senate, where there is a very slim majority. We may even be able to save the parental notification provisions in these bills. Keep telling your legislators to be our voice at the Capitol and to stand with 70% of Minnesotans who do not agree with their extreme abortion regime. Minnesotans, together, we stand for families against legislation like House File 146 and Senate File 63 that seek to exploit vulnerable children and violate parental rights by giving courts emergency custody of a child when his or her parents refuse to provide so-called gender-affirming care. Let me ask you, Or let me ask these legislators, what is caring about removing children from their parents and allowing kids to be used as medical experiments, resulting in life-altering consequences to their bodies? And we know that the solution is not more drag queens at the Capitol, and is certainly not menstrual products in the men's restrooms. Children need access to counselors that will help them learn how to become comfortable in their body. But even something as simple as access to good counseling is under attack by this legislators under so-called conversion therapy bans. To be clear, we in this room do not condone hate as some may claim. This is about keeping our children whole. Harmful gender legislation could hit the Senate floor as early as next week. Say it with me. Stop the madness. Say it again. Stop the madness. Tell your legislators that parents know what's best for your children, because we, parents, do not co-parent with the government. Together, we stand up for religious freedom and the right to worship God according to the dictates of our conscience. Legislators who support religious bigotry against faith-based colleges must be held accountable for the religious discrimination embedded in the Education Omnibus Bill. This bill disqualifies faith-based colleges from a state-funded PSEO program simply because these schools adhere to a religious statement of faith. Students deserve more opportunities, not less, and they certainly do not deserve state-sanctioned religious discrimination. Let me hear it again. This madness must stop. And might I add, the attorneys are watching. Minnesotans, now is the time to double down on the truth. Are you with me? Tell your legislators and Governor Walz that we will not allow our first freedoms to become remnants of the past. While it may feel like an uphill battle, do not lose hope. The attacks on our freedoms are premised on lies that cannot be sustained. As Shakespeare said, no legacy is so rich as honesty. Now, without hesitation, all of us in this room have a job to do. Let us all go out and tell the truth. Thank you.